As we enter the 319-year-old basement, we're going to take a tour of the small basement. I'm going to use some auxiliary lighting, basically so we can see as we look around. This basement is approximately 6.5, 7 feet tall. We're going to take a look at some of the uniqueness of this basement and what they could do 300 years ago. We have some brick on top of the granite, which is typical of that. But one thing I want to point out is 300 years ago, they were able to make this wall straight with basically, I'm guessing they use some oxen and some pulley system to get that straight, and the entire basement is like that. These beams up here over the years have gone through some shims. As you can see, there's some shims up there, so that must have been done at another time. The shims are newer anyways. You'll see a shim up there on the floor. The lighting in the basement isn't very good, so we're using some auxiliary headlamp actually to see some of this. If I look down here, you'll see 4 holes in the ground. I believe that was the feet of an oil tank at one time. Down there. We do have gas for our heat and our hot water. Those are the gas pipes. A couple electric panels. And as we walk this way, you'll see once again these walls are phenomenal considering they're 300 years old. And look at the size of those granite rocks. So you can see over the years, I believe this was done probably 15 years ago. They had to re-support the main entrance of the house. Right here. So the main entrance is about right over here, and you can see that's all new wood above us. So there must have been some kind of issue there. And it looks like there was plaster ceiling at one point here also. So what we want to show you now is probably the coolest thing in the whole basement. Oh, and we have some of our support columns are actually, we believe, cedar. And cedar doesn't rot. So we have these all over the basement. This day and age, they probably wouldn't be accepted. They're probably not up to code, but we have them everywhere. And we have a little sign right here. What does this one say? Town of Merrimack Fire Department, permit for storage of fuel oil. What's the date? Do we have a date? 8/7/1954. August 7, 1954. So, but as we look around, this mammoth brick chimney. This is the base of the main chimney that runs up through the house. It is pretty cool what they could do 300 years ago. This main part of the house, built, like I said, many, many years ago, this chimney has 4 fireplaces in it. And then when they put the addition on, which is behind that stone wall, they put an additional chimney over there. We can't see it from this area, and there's no, they didn't put a basement on any of the additions on this section. But you'll see once again, these walls are straight as an arrow. This chimney here, I believe at one time, this was probably the oil furnace, a coal furnace at one time was in this area. Has that, which is blocked. That's an exhaust into the fireplace. I believe that's, it's blocked now, but I believe that was probably for either an oil or a coal furnace. And we do have, we can see in here, that area here is underneath our kitchen. You can't get in there piping wise. In fact, when they did plumbing, they cut holes in the floor to do the plumbing upstairs. So looks like we need to put a cover on that electrical also while we're here. With some old cable. And we have our steep stairs, and back then the basement was used for storage, for root cellars, coal, oil. It really wasn't made for storage or access, or people didn't finish them. The basement stairs are quite steep, as you can see. And once again, one of our support beams here is a cedar post. No carvings in it. It looks like worms or bug. Got a little rot going on up there. It looks like it needs to be repaired. See on that main beam? It's probably been there for years and years and years. So that is our basement. It's a small basement considering the size of the house, but being the house have had so many additions put on it. And last but not least, central vac. We do not use the central vac, but we do have central vac here. So I'll leave you with one more glimpse of our wonderful fireplace as we go down in here. And we do have that granite wall on the other side. There we go. That's it. That's a 300+ year old basement. Thanks for joining me.